Welcome to the UDP broadcast, a podcast where a group of friends get together and talk about gaming-related topics and offer both informed and uninformed opinions. I'm your host, Luminary Weekly, and I'm accompanied today by the co-hosts, the Nordic Cajun,
Hello and welcome to the big show.
our eternal barcode, Imee,
Hello, everybody. I have a fucked up voice.
and from the Emerald Dream, Raina, the Crit Chicken.
Might as well be a crit dog because I'm barking over here.
Episode 50. Man, I've really hated telling you we couldn't do it that weekend you were at that wedding. Like I was so sad. I was like, oh no. But we're doing it now, and we're here.
Yay!
Indeed.
Before we do that, actually, I'll do it this time since your voice is. Unless you want to do it, Imee. You okay with it?
I got it. Ping at first has a special message for us because we donate money to the Trevor
The
Project.
Trevor
for all the ads
Project
and
is the
everything you
leading
give to us.
organization working to end LGBTQ youth suicide in the US and beyond. The non-profit operates several programs to help prevent and respond to the public health crisis of LGBTQ youth suicide, including 24/7 free crisis services, research, advocacy, education, and peer support.
Thank you, Ping.
You know, I usually have the tab muted because I can have the stream up and us talking at the same time, but I always unmute it just so I can hear ping because I love that little booger.
That's
Needs
majestic.
more ping.
Yay. There's one other important thing, which is that, just a quick reminder, this is an opinion show. Our views do not reflect that of any companies we may mention or their official policies or anything like that. In other words, don't sue us. We have no money. On with the show.
So, episode 50. Shit.
Well,
Yeah.
shit.
Damn.
A few topics on the docket today, and I kind of looked at a lot of them. We'll get to the part of it here soon, but let's whet our appetite with
Yes.
yes, with silence. Silence. So silence is a thing. No. So no. There was two topics I picked out. One is should you join a VTuber agency, which kind of ties into the discussion I was having in the pre-show about the podcast market falling apart. And then, of course, there is can you make a living off of being a Fortnite?
That's going to be an interesting discussion.
Yeah. So it really just depends. I mean, I guess just to keep consistency, the VTuber agency article that I had put up for review for you guys was talking about the same things that is kind of infecting. We've seen it in YouTube, both you and me, Cajun, with MCNs and things like that. And that's where agencies are involved to drive promotion and tells you exactly what to do to make the most money. The funniest thing about this article is that whenever they get rid of talent, they don't call it. They call it they graduate their clients. It's not letting go. They graduate.
I saw that.
They graduated.
It's like,
That's right.
congrats, you're fired.
Yes.
It says right up there with you've been promoted to customer when you're leaving work. So,
Yep.
And these most of these agencies, from what I've read and what I've seen, most of them do okay in terms of helping the little VTubers get their name and word out. But then there's some of these little jerks out there that if you don't read those bottom lines, you could lose the rights to all the work you've put into your VTuber.
right.
It just depends on the company you work with.
Well, the reason why I'm starting with this one is because it kind of ties into the Fortnite story.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, like it's totally a thing. What I was describing at the pre-show is that we're not part of any podcast circuit or agency or anything like that. This is independent, 100%, and is owned by myself and is co-managed by the three people you see here.
We're just a bunch of people on a soapbox in the internet with a megaphone.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I'm happy about it. 50 episodes in, if I didn't like it, we would have stopped 44 episodes ago.
Right. Look, we are 2 episodes away from an entire year of podcast, ladies and gentlemen. That is insane.
Yeah, 52 hours of podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Yes, we are.
Isn't it more than 52 hours of podcasting though?
Well,
I mean,
yeah,
with the pre-show and the after dark stuff, yeah, I guess you could say we're closer to
yeah.
probably around
Yeah, if you
65 to 70.
if you look at it on Spotify, oh wait, hold on, you forgot the pilot. The pilot counts as one, and that's not episode 1. So we're technically one away from 52
next,
episodes.
of
Yeah.
course. The week I'm not going to be here is going to be our anniversary. Yay! I'm going to be in
Rip.
Houston that weekend for a Halloween party.
Well,
No.
just hop on your phone, call it in for a little bit, for an hour, and then run away.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, what do you think I did that one time?
That's true. That is very true. You can hear Nord's phone coverage in Houston. That'd be fun. Just at least they drop in and say, "Howdy doody. I'm having fun. Hope y'all doing good too. Bye." Click.
pretty much all. We're just sitting here talking bullshit, and all of a sudden, it's Nord.
Hi guys, how y'all
I'll be
doing?
like, you just scared me critless.
I crit my pants. All right,
Oh God.
that was like the best guild name I've ever seen. I crit my pants. Oh yeah, I mean there's a lot of that going on. YouTube saw it with the MCNs. The MCNs kind of did the same thing, which is it controlled exactly what you did, and it took care of you in ways like some of the legal matters until I believe YouTube made the MCN start taking responsibility for creators that had below a certain amount of subscribers. I remember Total Biscuit, rip, talking about that, going, this is kind of some bullshit. Because I think he was with, it wasn't Machinima. What was the name of his?
He, Dodger, and Jesse Cox were all part of, the hell was it? Because they were on the Co-optional podcast, was hosted there. It started with a P. It was a company that eventually got bought by Disney.
Really?
Yeah, and at one point, a company did not like what they had said about them on the podcast, and they threatened, or they made a DMCA claim against the podcast, the Co-optional, and it was like, are you really wanting to fight Disney lawyers? Like, how dumb are you?
Really? Yeah, no.
Shit, what the hell was that? That's gonna bother me the rest of the night.
Yeah, we go ahead and look that up. We already had a discussion about don't mess around with Mickey Mouse lawyers with the Florida governor.
Who's still getting L after L handed to him, which is so sad for him. Yeah, and then on top of that, they had other things that happened here on Twitch and a little bit in YouTube. It was like teams where you get together with a whole bunch of different people, and then you're under this umbrella that they used to have.
Oh yeah,
And
like
that-
the Creature House or whatever they were,
Mhm.
with Uber Hacks or Nova and a bunch of other creators.
Oh, okay, I got it all. So it was originally known. Some of you may not remember it being the Co-optional podcast, but it may actually be older than that. Remember it as the Game Station podcast on the Polaris multi-channel network. So Polaris was an MCN. They were eventually bought by Disney, and somebody went after the podcast. It was either the podcast or after Total Biscuit himself, and it's like, that's Disney lawyers. Are you insane?
Yeah, start messing with wallets, people start opening them up in the wrong way.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's like, I don't think this is what you want to do.
So, but anyway, the article was an interesting read, though, as far as the VTubers are concerned, and it kind of led us into this next discussion about can you play Fortnite as a job? I believe is the name of the article. Let's see here. It was. Can anyone survive Fortnite as a job?
I guess you could if in a Fortnite.
So this also comes into another discussion of how dedicated are you to being a content creator, right? Cajun and myself were hobbyists, like period.
Does the dream one day want to be full time? Absolutely, but that comes with a lot of different. How did it go? Phenomenal cosmic powers, itty bitty patience. That's like if you go full time into content creation, people who don't understand what content creation is don't understand the actual amount of work that goes into it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a solo act. If you're the only person doing the stream, if you're the only person doing the editing, you're the only person doing your own graphics, your own blasting on Twitter, your own everything. If you're the only one doing it, it's a full-time job, even if you're a hobbyist. It's there's so much other stuff that goes into it. And then if you do get big enough, you get to the point where you can actually hire people to be your editors and to be your social media gurus and all that good stuff. But it's still a 24/7 job because you got to worry about, is this video going to do well? If it's not doing well, do I can it? Do I put it away? This stream we did a really, really amazing. Do we continue on with this and blast it on Twitter, or do we go a different direction because we had somebody say, oh, that's not the kind of stuff I want? There's so many different things constantly bombarding you as a content creator, and it can wear on you, like very quickly wear
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
When I was doing it for a little while there, I was spending so much time editing video footage, doing the graphics for it, doing the video editing, and then trying to record stuff that was funny. And you might record like 30 minutes at a time, because that was back when YouTube was like, we only care about likes.
on.
They didn't care about watch time. They didn't care about like all the in-depth analytics they do now. But you'd be sitting there like, is this video going to even get a single like? Because I was a very small channel, like I had maybe 100 and some odd subscribers. But it was just, it's that constant thing of like, you have to record things. It has to be good. It has to be entertaining. Then you have to edit it. You have to trim it. You have to do whatever other production stuff you do to your video footage. And then you have to get right back at it, because now you have another video that you have to produce. And then I was in that transition to where like YouTube wanted you to release content daily. So it's like, I really can't afford that much shit. I don't have that much time in a day.
Yeah, they got in that brain and mindset way before their time. Like they should have waited. That mindset that they wanted then is what you could do now with like TikTok and Shorts and all the stories and everything. Back then, you didn't have the capability. You just had to just throw spaghetti against the wall and see what stuck.
Yep.
And it was not feasible. And those who made it, more power to them. And they've seen how YouTube has evolved since then. But it's just, back then it was more just meme reviews and reactions and all that good stuff. That was the golden age of Ray William Johnson and all them getting their stuff out almost every single.
3.
Yep, equals good old 3.
I like his new content, but man, I do miss Equals 3.
Oh, Equals 3 was so much fun, dude. And it created a lot of different people's springboards into their own careers. I remember Boogie2988. He got his start because Ray William Johnson reviewed one of his little videos. And that's what it was about back then. And it was about just the communities you built. Really like tight-knit communities, not just random subscribers subscribing for the sake of it. And it was the golden age of YouTube, as they used to call it. Now it's just like, now we're in the age of Mr. Beast. In that format.
We've already seen our Ray William Johnson, our Philip DeFranco. We've seen our Athene Wins. That guy, man, he skyrocketed like crazy. The best gamer in the world. I remember first hearing his name. Yeah, it was just like Athene. Athene who? You never heard of Athene? He's the best gamer in the world. Don't you know that? And his old content was, him being the best gamer in the world in the skittiest comedy way, which was great. And he owned it. He's doing some crazy stuff now and making money, of course. And now we've got Mr. Beast, like you said.
Well, was Athene the one that did the whole Together to the Top movement on YouTube?
Yep, and I remember trying to tear that apart. And Reese actually responded to one of my videos on that, and I was kind of impressed that they keep an eye out on that.
Because the concept was nice. It's just it never really truly panned out. Kind of fizzled out after a while.
Well, he tried, and it's one of those things. I could almost, looking back on it, I could almost equate it to the folks who give out food to homeless people and record it,
right?
Kind of, and that's kind of what it feels like now, but it didn't feel like that then, because like he had his like rotating top banner, which featured channels and all kinds of, like, there was effort being put in. Now, if it was genuine, I have no idea. I'm pretty sure they had every intent in the world for Together to the Top, but that also begs the conversation of like, well, if everyone has money, then everyone is, I mean, what was it? It was if everybody's rich, no one's rich because everybody's equal.
Well,
Is
Which,
that
I
is
I
that
see
really so
there's a
bad?
lot of copycat stuff going on right now, especially on Facebook. It's like there's some people that are actually doing good community service stuff, but then there's other people that are like following people or maybe scripting stuff out in like the malls and being like, "Oh, if you could, you know, choose between $1,000 or this ounce of gold." Like, oh, you lost because you chose the $1,000 and the ounce of gold cost two. And you want to see what I'm going to do with the $1,000 that you could have had from this ounce of gold? Tosses it up in the air, you know.
And that's how that guy got a little piece of metal shoved into his gut because he was trying to do a comedy act in the mall. So yeah, that's the culture right now.
it
That's
is.
the culture of. I hate to say it because of. It's not because of Mr. Beast, but just because of that theme of video is really popular right now.
Yeah, show off money for subscription. Hey, are you following me? No? Well, subscribe to me right now and I'll give you a Barbie doll.
Mm-hmm. It's the forever carrot dangling, as it were.
I don't know. I thought about implementing something like the Spiffing Brit does. Is, when he does his endorsements that. Hey, Rihanna Keeves will come to your door and give you a back massage.
Yes, that's right. Or he'll stare at you from the end of your bed, and it's like, ugh, creepy.
I can smell you.
Could you please not?
Rihanna Keeves, the best in the world. So, but can you do it? And this article that we read for can you survive Fortnite as a job? And it has to deal with being a full-time streamer. And Pokimane had commented on it and why she's drifted away from uh, doing her streams because it was pretty much get up, stream, and that's all you do all day. You were an all-day streamer. You were live for everyone. And of course, being on all the time also birthed a lot of things like sleep streams and other things like that. There was it was some game dev in here that was also streaming quite a bit, and it's just a lot of burnout, mostly due to the same cycle that we were talking about with the podcasters and the VTuber agencies, and it's one of those things where you have to do these things because you're told to. You don't have time. There's no time to get groceries or anything because you're constantly in front of people. There's no groceries. There's no adulting. You have time to do very little at all.
Look at Osmongold. He can't even clean his room. You know.
Did you see that?
But
Did you see that video where Miru came in? It was just
yeah,
like commenting on his steak, and she's like, "Oh my god, it's rock hard. What is this?" Oh, Asmongold lives in filth, and he doesn't care. He's just like, "This is me, yo. This is what it is."
people are like, Osmongold, please, I'll literally go there and clean your room for free. I will get more satisfaction out of that. Just let me do it.
He's like, nah, I'm good. And that's unfortunately that's just the hurricane, as it were, that the FOMO reality of streaming is. Like, you're afraid to not work. You're afraid not to push that content out because if you don't, you're the fear of the people who put eyes on you the week before not seeing you tomorrow because you weren't there and then completely forgetting about you. It causes a lot of stressful and sleepless nights.
Oh yeah.
It I'm
But
for us.
it also adds to anxiety as far as like being
Mm-hmm.
on camera and doing this for like hours and hours and hours and hours. And then you're inviting random trolls into you probably don't, some people probably don't have moderators and, people want to troll and then people want to swat people. It's like, there's a lot of pros and cons to it, but I had to like break away from it for a bit because it was weighing heavily on my mental state.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's what's caused. I hate to call it like a movie title, but the rise of the VTubers. just because of what you had mentioned just now, Crit, about being on camera. There's a lot of people who don't want to be on camera, but they want to do this. And VTubing has opened a huge door for people who wouldn't have been able to stream in their own right.
There are
And
4 very good examples sitting right in the screen.
I'm saying,
The couple live streams I did, I never had a camera, and I never would either, because I have a face that's only radio can love.
and Crit.
Um,
Well, I mean, she can love it, but the rest of the public, it's only radio can love it.
um,
She's gonna kill me.
I think she's calling you out on your
yeah,
your
you're
BS.
gonna have to hide under your desk again. It'll be an
An-
episode 2 recap. It's like, what did you say, boy?
It's all right. I'm rocking my Snow White Santa Claus beard at the moment, so that's not really Snow White yet. Still got some blonde. I'm not completely old.
I'm rocking my, what is it? Sindel hair color right now.
Oh, that would be awesome. So you're like
Ooh.
purple with that black thick stripe and the white pinstripes around it?
Just pretty much like the side of my hair is like gray and everything else is pretty much dark.
Oh, nice.
That's
I like
awesome.
either that or Rogue from, yeah.
Yeah, Rogue. That was always
Rogue's pretty awesome.
I'm always rocking the side swipe, and I'm sitting there all the time looking in the mirrors like, one day I'm just gonna shave you all off and just be done with it. Just bald head and beard. That's all it's gonna be.
Yeah. On the topic of Crit talking about the being swatted and everything else that comes with streaming and whatnot, there was an incident with a particular YouTuber, since we were on talking about creation and YouTuber and the content and everything else, between Jacksfilms and SSSniperwolf.
Ugh.
What the hell is that all about?
I don't know much about them as individual creators. I just know that Sniper has made a living off of just other people's content for a very, very long time.
What do you mean?
Well, let's English.
English is
know.
hard.
So
No.
there was this guy, I forgot his name, and he had a lot of Call of Duty content or first-person shooter content that he wanted to put out there. And his girlfriend at the time was Sniperwolf. I don't remember her actual name. I don't really care. But they started a business and split it 50-50, where he would provide the gameplay and she would sit there and pretend like she's playing the games. Right? So immediately, this particular creator started off as a fake.
Mm-hmm.
Period. This particular creator over time has done some pretty shitty things. I don't know if you went through any of the content that I put into the backstage area, but one of them that was real big for a while, and I'm sure you remember this, Cajun, where she promised to reach out to a terminally ill child and put them off for like a year, 6 months, I forgot what it was, and kept breaking commitments and things like that. Like, it was just generally shitty behavior all the way around.
The anti-John Cena.
All right. She is currently, which is why Jacksfilms is involved in this, doing reaction videos like you see on TikTok or YouTube Shorts, where it's just like a side-by-side and some dude's commenting, like, imagine this podcast right now on Twitch, and then there's just some like neckbeard next to him going, so these guys, they're just cartoons, right? Oh yeah, no, they're right. Yeah. Regardless of whatever our content is, it's a reaction. It's just it is a head video agreeing with you or talking shit on you. Just depends. More often than not, agreeing.
And then sometimes nodding their head and like kind of like dipping their head down in the TikTok and just like pointing up and be like, "Yup, yup." That's
So it's just
yeah.
bullshit reaction videos, is what you're saying?
Yeah, well, that's her latest content. She's got like 3 channels, and it's, I don't know. I guess you can consider them like 3 separate landfills, but they get like millions of views a day. So, but the thing is Jacksfilms is like, I don't understand why this is even popular. So he's been doing reaction videos to her reaction videos, commenting on how fucking dumb it is, and started a whole channel to house it called Jacksfilms.
Yeah.
So
A parody of the parody of the parody.
Sniperwolf is also took the opportunity to not be okay with it and started up an Instagram stream and went to his house with 5 million viewers.
Why
So
the fuck would you do that?
5 million viewers got to see the
Doxed him.
front of Jacksfilms' house. And Jacksfilms was streaming. And his buddy's like, yo, hey, your house is on Instagram and Sniperwolf is outside your front door. He's like, what? No.
We are talking next level. Not
Doxing.
even. This is beyond. Doxing and stalker status, like to the umpteenth degree. Like you just don't do that to people. You just don't. And she thinks I guarantee you, she thought that it was going to be just ha ha tee hee and just get away with it too.
Can you stop doing that, please? Yeah.
I think the pic of it on her Instagram was like, "Come outside and let's talk about it like adults," which was an ironic statement in and of itself, coming
Yeah.
from her, considering the situation. And it's almost comical the repercussions that she's even facing about it. Though she's basically getting a slap on the wrist from YouTube.
Well,
Because-
what's interesting about that is that she didn't do it on YouTube's platform. She is a creator on YouTube that was streaming
That's right.
on Instagram. Instagram should have just like swatted her down, but I hear Instagram doesn't pay for shit anyway.
No, they don't.
No, but they're probably going to like that lawsuit coming, especially with the doxing attempt. Yeah. I mean, that's going to be.
gonna be tasty. It's gonna be tasty.
Speaking of Instagram and reactions and Sniperwolf, Nord, our favorite Vlad. You know, he's been doing a lot of stuff as far as
I know who you're
cosplaying.
talking about now. The Russian who dresses up as like the cute anime.
Yes, the
actress.
e-girl, yes.
So now he's referring to himself as Sniperwolf on Omegle.
Oh no.
I mean, that's just funny.
He's like, I have 34 million followers.
He is my spirit animal. I love him. He is amazing. If I could pull that shit off, I would.
Vlad NCL, yeah. He's amazing.
So generally shitty behavior, and honestly, I think it could potentially not Vlad. Vlad's awesome, but Sniperwolf. If you kind of compare it to people who have lost touch with what it's like to be a normal person, like look at Logan Paul, Jake Paul. Do they know what it's like to be a normal person?
Even before their fame, no.
Yeah.
But no,
There are folks out there that do this for a living and have no concept of what it's like to be a regular ass human being because they live in this world. I even think Sinvicta at one point was talking about like the relationship that you have with normal people. You can't talk to them because that's not your world anymore. He talked about it in like a Binding of Isaac episode somewhere.
Yep.
It's kind of like my brother. I mean, once he became a doctor, it's like, when he was hanging out with his honor roll friends or whatever, he kind of just started looking down on the rest of the family like, I'm above you. I don't need to talk to you anymore.
No, maybe not looking down. It's just losing touch with what reality is like for most folks.
No, he doesn't
Yeah.
even talk to my mom anymore. Like, my mom literally gave him life, and he's like, bye.
Well, that just means he's a scrub.
Yeah.
But
Don't
I
want
think
no
a lot of
scrubs.
people are like that, but it's just like, when reality comes back, eventually it hits them in the face. It's like, sorry, why are you trying to reconnect with me? You chose your path. What the fuck?
You done poured gasoline and lit that bridge, so it's been done gone.
So, but yeah, that's kind of where we're getting at. Loss of touch with reality, and I think the reason why I stopped trying to figure out why she would start up an Instagram stream and show up to Jacksfilms' house without Jacksfilms knowing, is due to that loss of touch of reality. Because having, I think she had like 5 million people on that stream. Having that kind of following is like pointing a loaded gun at someone. I mean, it's just like, you got to think 5 million people. I think Papa Meat, which by the way, Crit, since we're talking about this, Papa Meat actually talks about it too. It's if you look at the backstage chat, one of the videos I have there is Papa Meat quoting on it, and he even says, you got to think 5 million people. There's got to be at least 4 or 5, if not more, that have a screw loose is going to do something stupid.
Yep.
Speaking about the follower thing, I have to give somebody credit that I never thought I would give credit to, and that would be Taylor Swift.
Oh.
Hear me out. She just came out with a new. She came out with a movie this past week, which is basically a movie of her tour. Like it was her concert she did in Las Vegas, and they recorded the whole thing and made this really good movie. It was if you like concert style movies, it was really well done. It was beautiful. Her all costumes were amazing. Joyce was literally singing every word the entire time. So I had got 2 concerts at once, and the reason why I given her props for it is because she did something that might catch on if people were paying attention to it. When it comes to getting a movie out there and produced and then advertised and then get to the movie theaters, it has to go through like 4 different sanctions. It has to go through Hollywood itself, it has to go through production teams, it has to go through AMC and all this good stuff to get the movie properly out there for people to watch. And Hollywood takes a large chunk of that because Hollywood, they believe because they're the big boys, they deserve the biggest chunk of the movie, despite the fact that they are just a dying breed, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor, she took her movie and she bypassed Hollywood altogether. She basically funded it and used her following to tell people, "Hey, I'm going to be releasing my movie at this time, and this is when my movie's going to come out in the AMC's and all this good stuff. Go see it." She bypassed Hollywood altogether and made more money in the opening week than the top 8 movies out this year without Hollywood's help, and Hollywood is pissed.
Well, yeah, I mean that's like
the delicious royalty train.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, like everybody was cut out of it. I'm willing to bet Taylor Swift also paid the crew and cast very, very well too.
Absolutely. Like she had more money to pay them, more money to give a cut to the AMCs who are hosting all their movies, and she got to keep more for herself. That 70% that would have went to Hollywood, she got to split amongst the 3 people doing the actual fucking work.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, if these other big wigs with these huge followings catch onto this, people could bypass Hollywood altogether, and Hollywood could become a ghost town.
And I bet you it was probably cheaper than what Hollywood could do.
Mhm.
Depending on if she went with guild actors, guild writers, things like that. So I don't know the details of her production, but
Well, there wouldn't be much writer because it literally was just a production of her concert. So, if anything, she was the only writer.
well,
She wrote the songs and all, and performed all the music, and she had her own band and stuff. The only thing she would really, all she needed was a camera crew, and it was fantastically done. Like it was a very, very good spectacle. This is not an unofficial like go see the movie from me from Nord because I couldn't give a flying fuck about the movie. I went because she wanted to go, but for what it was a very well done thing, and I'm glad she stuck into Hollywood. To be
Can
honest.
I say something or have a word on behaviors on TikTok and social media in general,
Mm-hmm.
or at least bad behaviors?
go for it.
So over the past couple of days, I know the TikTok community has been grieving with the loss of Inquisitor 3.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't really know too much about him, but apparently the situation that happened with that was one guy, I guess Tito, was trying to convince his girlfriend to flirt with, um, Inquisitor. And meanwhile, she's a minor. She's like 17, and he's like, no, 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 no. But they were trying to like send screenshots to another TikTok channel called Keegan or whatever with a bigger following and, just did snippets to make it look like he was, P3PO.
He was the one doing the chasing when in reality he was being set up.
So it's the same thing like the Sniper Wolf situation. When you have a large following coming after you and attacking you, what are you going to do? So unfortunately, Inquisitor took to TikTok one last time to,
Punch his card.
yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that was talked
So
about quite a bit, man.
People are horrendous.
I think a lot of people, including Sniper Wolf, in those situations where you have these massive followings or whatever, and you're literally targeting someone and trying to hurt them.
They need to be found liable.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Everybody involved with that, they need to be taken down and with the strongest arm of the law as possible, because this kid was a great entertainer from what I've seen. He did a lot of good, and to be portrayed as one of the worst possible things on the planet when he didn't want anything to do with it, that's, if he were still alive, he would have that defamation case in spades because he had receipts. But the damage was done. I think that's what really drove him to take the route that he did. Poor thing. It's just, you never know what's going to be too much, what's going to be too far when it comes to that kind of situation.
And at the end of the day, streamers are still people. I mean,
That's it.
People need to take care of their mental health. I mean, if you know that, you can fight certain things, especially if you know that, like, if something's being doctored or whatever. I mean, look what happened with Colleen Ballinger's husband. Colleen was like doing everything to attack him or whatever. She divorced him and stuff like that and threw him underneath the bus or whatever. And now with the whole interview with Swoop, he's like in the clear now. He's good. He's golden. He was kind of like the whole Britney Spears saga where he had to stay in the shadows. He couldn't tell a story, unfortunately when you have so many eyes on you, I think there's like a lot of pressure. And like with the case of the one YouTuber, Etika, it all came crashing down on him as well. So like at the end of the day, it's good to look after yourself, but not only that, but even as like a spectator, even as a fan, keep an eye, check in with your people.
Yep. Always, always, always.
The greatest example I've ever heard of that is, a lot of people like to use this as an excuse, but they forget about the underlying tones of this phrase. You're supposed to have thick skin, but you got to remember, even thick skin breaks. There is a limit you could take somebody before it's too much. And people don't understand, like Chris said, people are people. And just because they're on camera and they're entertaining you and they're helping you deal with your own stuff because they're distracting you, doesn't mean you get to use them as your personal emotional fidget toy. And
fidget spinner.
and and that disconnect gets stronger and stronger, unfortunately, every day.
Yeah.
It's even bad with the whole Sniper Wolf situation that even Moist Critical actually took a spin on it.
Oh, what was his spin? Probably the same as everyone else's, but I like how
I'll
he
link
comments
it.
stuff.
I mean, he did 10 minutes of it, so I still needed to watch that.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely want to watch it too. Voice Critical is great. But yeah, thick skin, that's the whole thing. And mind you, even though they say you gotta have thick skin, it doesn't mean you're not a person underneath. And I'm pretty sure a lot of folks are crying underneath. After a while, you kind of suppress it because the outer shell just kind of like absorbs everything. It doesn't mean it doesn't. I have a feeling that Inquisitor was receiving a lot of positive feedback, and then it just became super negative, and was too much for him. Not saying that he's any less of a human being. The fact that he was a human being, and people were being generally shitty to him, and that's unfortunate. But on a less tragic topic, there is a Shibe Inu going to Awesome Games
Doge.
Done Quick.
Shibu!
Peanut Butter is the name of the Shiba, is going to be performing the speed run of Gyromite for the Nintendo Entertainment System. for a speed run with his owner. I believe it was the name of the channel. I had it up. Hold on. They had a trailer and everything for it. JSR. So, yeah, no, he spent years training this dog with treats. I mean, he's pretty much using the dog as a replacement for Rob the Robot that you got with the original. Wait, hold on. No one here is old enough to remember the release of the Nintendo Entertainment Center system.
I do. I grew up with that, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
The power glove.
Oh God,
yeah,
that thing was just.
Thank you very much.
That thing was certainly a thing that existed.
It was. It was.
When Nintendo released their Nintendo Entertainment System, one of the versions of the Nintendo that you could get came with a second controller and a battery-operated robot called Rob, and a game called Gyromite that you could play. I never played it. I've seen it, and I always wanted to know what the robot did, and it just like spun these little tops on buttons. Kind of cool.
Yeah, that was that part I didn't know about the whole. The only knowledge of Rob that I know is from Smash Brothers. They put him into Smash Brothers as an actual playable character. I didn't know what he was. I didn't know what the reference of him was until you said that today. That's really actually pretty neat. So that's where he came from. And now Mr. Peanut Butter here is gonna be like, I'm gonna do it.
Pretty much.
I'm a good doggy. Watch this. I can't wait. That's gonna be fun.
Pretty much. I'm actually excited. I hope they have some footage I can watch on YouTube. I'd love to go and see something like that. So if anything, show your support to those folks. The Awesome Games Done Quick has raised lots and lots of money for charity, so they're doing a good thing.
They are.
I love those guys.
Hey guys, I'm gonna probably bounce though because I have to be up in 3 hours. If that's all right.
Oh shit. Okay, well let's just end it now. Cajun and I are doing shiny hunting. We're doing the Great Fui Coco race Tuesday, Wednesday, possibly Thursday with a shit ton of eggs. Imy's gonna get over being sick, and Crit's got to go to work.
And I'm going to be taking my friends to the airport in 3 hours as well.
Yeah, I'll be at work in 5, so we're all on that train right now.
It's Toxic Gossip Train.
There we go.
Down the trails of Mr.
Shifted the round table into turbo mode. So, with that being said, don't miss out next week on episode 51 of the UDP broadcast every Saturday night at 10:30 p.m. Central Daylight Savings Time. Oh yeah.
Welcome to almost a year in.
That's right. A shiny's a shiny. Don't be a dick. And sound effects.
So long, chat. So long, everybody. Have yourselves a great night.